Now, back to the question. I don't want to veer off too much. Do I think Arsenal will win the league? The answer is no.
Reckless talk. Son of a Justin. Hey, reckless talk. But I got expensive habits. Don't step in salt.
Alright, how is it going, Kwame? Morning, everybody. Afternoon, wherever you are. Don from Kenya Goodness TV, and we're back again with another video. It's been a minute since we did a video. We are basically now in the international break. Yeah, Kwame, what's going on?
It's been a good break. Bad ending to the winter break, but so far so good. It's a good break for everyone.
Yeah, it's been a good break. The guys have basically been resetting. They're in Dubai. I don't think they're still in Dubai. The next game we are playing is this coming Saturday versus Crystal Palace. And we basically have seen how things have been turning up because the Premier League is back. We saw what Man City did yesterday. We've seen what Liverpool is capable of doing in the Carabao Cup during the international break. You know, coming back from behind to beat, was it Fulham? Yeah. So
Yes.
basically the topic here, by the way, and they also asking you guys in the comment section, is the title contention over or are guys just panicking? So Kwame, where do you stand by there from that topic? Are you at a place where you're like, it's done?
Okay. As a football fan, I wear two hats. There's just the carefree football fan who watches. You have this fantasy idea. You can score many goals. You can buy anyone. You love attacking football. You just look at it for the game of the day. But as a seasoned football fan and even a former football player with a trained eye, I can tell you that we are in the right direction. It's just that we want success to come at an extremely high speed, which is not practical. Right? I'm not preparing you for failure in terms of making you comfortable with being number 4 or number 2 or number 3, but you have to look at what it takes to be number 1 in the Premier League. One, you can't afford any blips. That means you have to constantly win, lose a few games. You need a second string side that can play at the same level as the first string side, right? You need to have, and if you have both, then the next thing comes into question is the injury record. You see, if we only have a very good first 11, so they play too many games. In fact, I feel what we are experiencing in Arsenal right now is fatigue, mental fatigue.
Right.
When you have, depending on 20-year-olds to win you the league is really unfair. And it's I mean, I've never seen a football team in the world with 20-year-olds win a league, even though they are powerful, even though they are gifted, they can't handle the pressure. You see? So I think Arteta came in and brought sanity. One, he removed deadweight, people with bad attitudes, they are Aubameyangs and what have you. People who are not good enough, right? And so we are still within the project. Now, back to the question. I don't want to veer off too much. Do I think Arsenal will win the league? The answer is no. Why? Because we are just in the, maybe out of, if I was to give it a percentage out of 100, we are 80% there. We need a few more players to be able to say we can compete, because you're noticing the teams that are starting to gather speed right now, they have a good first string and second string side. That is the Liverpools of this world, Man Cities of this world, right? The rest have a good, just like Arsenal, they have a good first 11, but the second string is debatable, neither here nor there. You understand? So if I'm being realistic, I don't expect us to win the league. If we do, I think it's to do with a lot of luck, with injuries on Man City side and the Liverpool side. Yeah, so that's my answer.
Yeah, so for me, my simple answer is no. We're not winning the league. I mean, as a football fan, as an old football fan who's been watching football and who's been supporting Arsenal for quite some time, and going by the reputation of our club, and basically seeing how things have been turning up, clearly, by the way, the team that stands a chance of winning the league this season is Man City. Number one, because they have experienced players, they have an experienced coach. Uh, Liverpool, I don't think Liverpool will win. I don't think Liverpool will win the Premier League, because I've been watching Liverpool games and looking at the way Liverpool is playing. Clearly, even the game we played versus Liverpool, that was some couple of weeks ago. You noticed how they struggle, but in fact, that game, the FA Cup, they just won it by luck. You've seen how Liverpool has been struggling at Anfield versus Man U, despite the fact Man U being very poor. You've seen how Liverpool has struggled against us at Anfield, which is supposed to be their best, their best thriving environment.
They have injuries. You know that.
Yeah, they have
They have a
injuries.
lot of
Yeah,
injuries.
yeah. So that's also a factor. That is also a factor. And if you look at Man City right now, the reason why I feel like Man City is actually going to win the league is that right now, Man City has been known to be picking up form during the second leg. They've been known, actually, Pep has a reputation by way of actually, Pep and the players have a reputation of performing when there's pressure. And that's the exact opposite by the Arsenal. Arsenal right now, we have young guys. Uh, People are still struggling with confidence. People are still not believing in themselves. And you've seen what you see what usually happens. A player like Saka, very good player, a player like Martinelli, was some of the best players you've ever seen. But you see, these guys are young. When pressure kicks in, they capitulate to pressure. They always seem to capitulate by the way pressure kicks in. So,
And then there's not enough competition.
yeah,
There's not enough competition because if you're the only one who we are depending on, and I mean, whether you play badly or well, somebody, I mean, you'll always have your space. If we had somebody who could replace Martinelli or Saka, and they would sit in the bench even 4 games, I think we'd be seeing a different, different version of them, because then
yeah.
there would be competition. Yeah, so I feel you. I understand.
Yeah. So I mean that's the position of things. As an old fan, I think when we're old fans, and most Arsenal fans, not just young guys who are starting to support, who are getting into football right now. If looking at the way we are playing and going by the way things are right now in the transfer window, because even if to get a striker, guys have been talking about getting a striker. Clearly, we need a striker, by the way, and we've been saying it's a blip, but that is not a blip. That is just lack of technical ability in the front.
Quality.
Yeah. That is just it, by the way.
And you know how many strikers are there in the world right now that everybody can say they are world class? 10 of them. Can you mention 10? They are not that many. When they are not that many, the cost is high. And then buying an elite striker in the January transfer window, that means there are some teams that cannot sell, because that would mean them being relegated. That would mean them missing out on Champions League. So if you are to pay, you will pay crazy amounts of money. And with the profit and sustainability rules, that's what they call it in Britain. FFP is a construct of UEFA. So, but they're the same thing. You cannot outmaneuver that. So why would you risk? We've already cleaned our books, removed guys, slowly building the team. The only thing that I would be worried of, which I don't know what they're going to do in their Dubai training camp, is at least they need to get at least 10 goals out of Jesus, Nketiah, Trossard, Martinelli, Saka. If all of them score 10 goals, then we can get top 4. But if they continue performing the way they are doing, scoring 0 goals, 61 touches and 1 goal in 3 games, I mean 61 shots on goal, we are the number 10 in terms of ball conversion in open play. We are number 10. Number 10. What is keeping us in is our defense, and some of our goals we score from set plays. You understand? So
Yep.
that's what I'm even more worried about secretly. I don't want to say too much because it might sound too negative, but I feel that's what Arteta needs to work on, because I don't think we're winning the league, but the way we are playing, I feel like if we joke around, we might find ourselves number 5 or number 6.
And
Not
that's the
because
thing.
we are not.
And you see, that's where now even people start questioning Arteta. Clearly, but this is an experience actually showing. Get this, Arteta is a very good coach, but looking at looking at Arteta, comparing Arteta vis-a-vis Pep and what's this Liverpool Klopp. If you look at the
Klopp.
decisions that those guys usually make, I'll give you an example. Look at yesterday's game when Liverpool when City was trailing behind Newcastle. Did you watch that game?
No, I didn't. I just read about it.
Clearly, by the Pep is a really experienced coach. He knows very well by the that De Bruyne by his injury. He's just coming from an injury. Okay, so he's been playing him towards the last minute. And you remember yesterday, but I remember it was just 20 minutes towards the end, towards the game ending. That's when he introduced KDB, Kevin De Bruyne, and that's the guy who completely changed.
Wait, before you go deep into that,
Mhm.
I want you to take into account what we mentioned in the beginning of this so that we don't lose track.
Yeah.
He has the luxury of benching De Bruyne to come and bring him towards the end. Now, that's what Arsenal and many other Premier League teams don't have, that luxury. You see, if De Bruyne can be in the bench, and like their benches are as good as the first team. So that's the luxury that teams like at least Liverpool, in terms of the attack, we are nowhere near. Their front three, they are better than ours. If you bring the second string, they are better than ours. So you see, that's the
That's what I'm
difference.
saying. But that's what I'm saying. I'm saying clearly we're not winning the league because of Arteta's inexperience. I'll give you an example.
But now, what can he do? What can he do if there's no?
No.
You have Nketiah as a striker.
Look. Okay, we have Nketiah and we have whatnot. But look at the time Mikel usually makes his subs. Vis-a-vis the time Klopp makes his subs. Mikel has a tendency, but they're stretching players.
But you see, think about it this way. Don't think. Stop thinking as a fan with the results. Think about it this way. You see, the reason why Mikel has to hang on to Saka so long and Martinelli so long is because those are the players he can trust. He doesn't have anybody else he can trust who can come in and be a striker. In fact, Nketiah, he doesn't want to crush his mentality by putting him on the bench because we need him for now until summer. I don't think Nketiah is going to go beyond this summer. It's just that we need to hype him up so that we can sell him. By the way, I don't think. Yeah.
Let me say this: if clearly you've seen Bade Saka struggling by there for 80 minutes,
Yes.
if you see Martinelli struggling by there for 80 minutes, and you have a bench, why not try a second option? If you remember last season, by there when we were playing Bournemouth, the introduction of Reece Nelson, despite Reece Nelson by there being so he's struggling with confidence, him not being very good. Look at what that sub did. So where I tend to question Arteta by day is the time usually makes his subs. Yeah.
But there's one thing that you're not considering. There's one thing that you're not considering, my brother, and this is what you're not considering. You only watch 90 minutes on the weekend, right? But Mikel is with these players. He knows how they play. What does he gain by keeping a good player on the bench? Think about it. He loves that club. Mikel would have gone anywhere. Guys want him. But he came to Arsenal and he decided to come and play. And if he knows, even you, just picture the way you and I love Arsenal, and we're just some Africans here in Africa who are members of the Arsenal Football Club, and we religiously follow. He was a player. He's being paid top dollar. A lot of the players came because of him. Why would he? Because it's his reputation on the line. Why would he refuse to play somebody? It's because, and this is when you remember when you were playing Europa League, I know Reece Nelson got a lot of chances. He couldn't handle the pressure of playing a top, like with top teams. It's just right now he's improving. Right now he's improving, but without like criticizing him too much. He's not at the level. You know, like the way Doku can come in and or like when you look at Man City, for example, they have Doku, then they have this English player. What's his guy? This guy was in Aston Villa. What's his name? The English guy. Grealish. You know, that guy comes in, there's a difference. Doku comes in, there's a difference. But Reese,
Oscar, and the recent youngster by the
Oscar, he's like another Nketiah. He'll have a good game today, then tomorrow he'll not have a good game, and then there are games he gets lost. You see, so that kind of thing. So that's but you see when you compare Rice, when Rice came into the team, you felt the impact 100%, no doubt. If you are a footballer from Africa, from India, from South America, you sit and you watch with a neutral eye. You will clearly say that Rice is good. And I think that's what now Arsenal has learned. You know, back in the past, we used to get pressure from fans like us. Oh, Arsenal, buy. Yo, you have to put somebody. We wasted money on Chamak and Yaya Sanogo. You remember? The guy didn't score any goal. And, you know, because of the pressure of buying somebody, until now they changed his name from Yaya Sanogo to Yaya Sanogol. Because he never scored a single goal. There's even a guy who was bought, Karlstrom. He only played one game. Arsenal, in fact, if it's major F-ups that Arsenal has done, like worst signings, Arsenal has many. Buying useless players. Like you want to...
Buying injured players.
Yeah, you want to buy like 5 or 6 players to make it look nice, and then they come in and do nothing. But you've noticed with Mikel, he's not getting into that pressure. He removed Aubameyang, he removed Lacazette. I believe if Lacazette was here, he'd still do better than what we have. But because he wanted to change the mentality, and then he has to slowly change the whole squad. Changing the whole squad is, you know, probably close to £1 billion. I mean, you can't change it overnight. You understand? And that's what I'm saying. When I look at it from a financial, commercial perspective, when I look at it from a technical perspective, when I look at it from a long-term perspective, we are on the right track. It's just that you have to choose. You see, defense keep you in the league. So that's why we focused on defense first, right? And then now we slowly build with the midfield and then strikers. Because remember, we can score from midfield, we can score from wingers, we can score from whatever. So we are not like... And then remember, because of the FFP, you can't just go there and splash the money. If you're not making profits, because you have to show the club is earning money, and so they're earning money, and so from the earning money they're earning, plus the money they make from Champions League, they can buy. But we just joined the Champions League the other day. This is our first Champions League in years. Where is the money coming from? And the reason why why FFP is there is because the clubs that came to the Premier League on merit, who don't have the money to splash around. When you have Man Cities of this world and Chelsea's and the ones who, like Man City, the group owns several football clubs. I think you know that, right?
Yeah.
Girona that is doing so well. Do you know that's a Man City club? You know that?
Yeah. The owners, but they're the same as that of Man City.
I think even in France, I don't know which exact team, but they own some few teams in France. So that's why you find some players come to Man City on the cheap. And you wonder, hey, why are they paying cheap? But it's because Man City has some shares in many countries. So that's why FFP has to be there, because they will have total world domination if they are not controlled, because they have a lot of oil money, which many teams don't have. So your books have to balance. So you see, because we are in an era where we have to balance our finances, at the same time, we have to buy players.
Yeah.
You see?
Kwame, let me cut you short. By the way, we're supposed to be watching a rugby game. So anyway, you guys let us know in the comment section, by the way, if you're still in this title contention race or not. Kwame, I think I'll be seeing you on the next one. We're just doing another video after this. Let's first watch into the rugby game. It's Kenya Sevens versus Chile, the finals.
Sure.
Make sure you support our boys.
Cheers, guys.
All right.